Former President Trump retains a commanding lead over his White House rivals in a new poll in the state that kicks off the 2024 Republican presidential nominating calendar. The release of the poll comes with 11 weeks to go until the Jan. 15 caucuses. However, the slew of indictments against Trump appear to have only boosted his support among Republican voters. The 2% support he grabbed in Iowa in the poll was reallocated to the respondents' second choices. Get the latest updates from the 2024 campaign trail, exclusive interviews and more at our Fox News Digital Election Hub. It hardly mattered that Five Nights at Freddy's was released simultaneously in theaters and on streaming this weekend. Fans flocked to movie theaters across the country to see the scary video game adaptation on the big screen, which made $78 million to top the North American box office, according to studio estimates Sunday. And it paid off. Five Nights at Freddy's is his company's biggest opening of all time, surpassing Halloween's domestic and global debut, and The Exorcist. Believer rounded out the top 5 with $3.1 million in its fourth weekend, bringing its domestic earnings to just shy of $60 million. Five Nights at Freddy's, $78 million. The New York Giants were facing a grim reality on Sunday night after losing backup quarterback Tyrod Taylor to an apparent rib injury during the first half of the 13-10 loss to the New York Jets, with starting quarterback Daniel Jones sidelined for the third straight week with a neck injury. The situation for the Giants was not looking good. Daboll said Monday that Taylor was still in the hospital with a rib injury, but declined to discuss the extent of it. Click here for more sports coverage on FOXNEWS. Undrafted rookie quarterback Tommy DeVito was forced to step in and did not miss a beat, scoring a 6-yard touchdown in the opening possession of the third quarter. Daboll said, "There's definitely a possibility that the Giants will explore adding another quarterback to the roster this week." A White House official said those Jewish leaders will represent organizations like ADL, Hillel, Jewish federations, the National Council of Jewish Women and more. As the president has made clear, we can't stand by and stand silent. In the wake of anti-Semitic and Islamophobic incidents, the efforts come amid a surge in anti-Semitic incidents and threats against Jewish students on college campuses across the nation. In the latest incident, the FBI over the weekend began investigating a series of threats made against the Jewish community at Cornell University. One of the threats called for people to follow a Jewish person home and slit their throats, adding, "Rats need to be eliminated from Cornell." Breast cancer is the second most diagnosed cancer among women, second to skin cancer. Below are the different stages of breast cancer, also broken down into various types and the survival rates for each of those stages. What are the survival rates for each stage of breast cancer? There are 5 stages of breast cancer, starting with 0, and then moving to I, 2, 3 and IV. The American Cancer Society outlined the 5-year relative survival rates for breast cancer broken up into localized, regional and distant stages. Fox News anchor Martha MacCallum said she will never forget the horrific footage of Hamas terror attacks on Israel after she was among a small group of reporters invited on Friday to view unfiltered videos of the atrocities. There is a Hamas terrorist who calls his parents. He says, "Mom and Dad, you would be so proud of me." On Friday, MacCallum posted on X that she will hear the cries of the children forever after watching the chilling footage. Hamas terrorists laugh and call home to boast how many Jews they killed, with their hands. And so that you can imagine it. Because I hope you never have to see it, McCallum wrote. Alan Mazzotti can see the Rocky Mountains about 30 miles west of his pumpkin patch in northeast Colorado on a clear day. But one season of above-average snowfall wasn't enough to refill the dwindling reservoir he relies on to irrigate his pumpkins. Graves said the pumpkins she bought rotted more quickly than in past years. But it was better than what little they grew themselves. Farmers in Colorado have been dealing with water cutbacks for a long time. And they're used to it. He'll keep farming pumpkins for a bit longer. But there's no future after me, he said. Rep. Parmila Jayapal, DWA, warned President Biden to be careful about his support for Israel on Sunday during an interview on NBC and said he needed to call us to a higher moral place as the war between Israel and Hamas continues. NBC's Meet the Press host Kristen Welker asked Jayapal if she was concerned about Biden's election chances as he might be losing support from Arab Americans. They support the right for Israel to defend itself, to exist. But they do not support a war crime exchanged for another war crime. The point is I want President Biden to be the next president. And he needs to call us to a higher moral place, she concluded. Welker also asked Jayapal about her past comments calling Israel a racist state in July before attempting to clarify her position. A pediatrician was fatally stabbed at a picnic table outside her home in Conroe, Texas, Saturday, by a 24-year-old assailant in what some fear may have been a hate crime. According to local media, a witness told the local station that the mother of two had been sitting outside chatting on the phone with her dog nearby when the man came out of nowhere and attacked her in front of neighbors and children. Another witness, Matthew Amador, told KPRC that he heard the sound of children screaming and rushed outside with his sword and his phone. Hate crime at its highest levels in decades. According to FBI, the perpetrator was checking her pulse, which was really bad. Officials haven't disclosed a motive for the slaying or said whether they're probing a possible hate crime. But the Council on American Islamic Relations in Houston said it is tracking the case closely. Legendary American tennis pro Pete Sampras revealed that his wife Bridget Wilson Sampras has been battling ovarian cancer after being diagnosed nearly a year ago and asked for good thoughts and prayers as the actress continues on in her healing journey. Sampras, a 14-time Grand Slam champion before his official retirement in 2003, made the revelation in a lengthy statement shared by the ATP Tour on social media Sunday. Martina Navratilova says she's cancer-free. What a relief. Last December, my wife, Bridget, was diagnosed with ovarian cancer. Sampras said his wife inspires him as she continues to be an incredible mom and wife. He retired officially in 2003. But his last Grand Slam victory came the year before when he again defeated Agassi at the US Open. Arrow right, but now, Wisconsin might be the first member of the union to name an official state cocktail. That is, if a bill proposed by state legislators gains majority support. The contender for this honor is one that might leave Kentuckians feeling faint. The brandy old-fashioned. Share this article. Share if you were going to order an old-fashioned. You could get it made with either questionable whiskey or good brandy, Hertz said. And that's how we started drinking brandy. And then our kids started drinking brandy. And then our grandkids. And suddenly everybody's drinking brandy. By the 1960s. The brandy old-fashioned was everywhere across the Badger State, but it was about to get an added oomph. Nowadays, California-based producer Korbel claims that Wisconsin consumes more than half of its brandy cases sold each year. A popular sound in the fight for that title, prized for its pitch and purity, is the voice of Celine Dion. Advertisement: they don't want to follow the rules, and they're just making it hell for people, Baker told the Washington Post. Celine Dion is popular, so we try to use music that has high treble, is clear and not much bass. Both were cause for celebration, and Porirua,'s large Pacifica population did so through siren battles. They love music. They love dance. They love church. Girls' teams also received fewer travel opportunities, worse equipment and inferior practice facilities than boys' teams, according to the lawsuit. Share this article. Share Baddies and Troops lawsuit accused the state education department of overseeing a widespread failure to ensure gender equity in school athletics. The lawsuit alleged that a 2016 department report found several high schools, including Campbell, did not provide girls with standalone locker rooms. At Campbell, girls' teams suffered various inconveniences as a result. I'm very proud that we as young girls had the bravery to step up and say something for the future. Female athletes of Campbell, Troop said in a statement.